To continue that conversation, I'd like to now bring in GOP strategist Adam Roosevelt. Adam, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Tijani.
Now, what is the GOP's response to Trump's looming impeachment trial?
Well, we've seen a lot of activity with the Congress as well as the Senate. I think the majority of Republicans are making the decision to stand with the president, primarily because it seems it's the best investment forward. There's going to be a little bit of division, though, I anticipate, with the Make America Great Again team versus the establishment. And I also anticipate some differences with the young Republicans as well. But I think what's being covered is the Republican Party as a whole is standing with the president, but we need to look at the divide a little closely in order to really see how this is all going to pan out long term.
I mean, Adam, the Republican Party is fractured, to say the least. There's so much division between the group itself. What are your thoughts? How do they move forward?
Well, I think that this has been a conversation around the Republican circles for a while now. I think one of the big issues is minority involvement. I think one of the big issues is empathy for a lot of the groups that they've not been able to reach. So there's a lot of work within that regard. I think we've done very well with economics and the conversations around moving that forward, but we have not gotten into the communities that I'm from. So we need to really get into the community and have a win the hearts and minds strategy with a little more empathy and speaking with conviction, with experience. I think that's what's lacking. So diversity is going to be the number one effort and objective going forward.
And Trump seems to still be at the helm of the Republican Party. So what would his role be moving forward if he is impeached?
You know, from a strategist perspective, I think we saw just recently what happened with Kevin McCarthy went down to Mar-a-Lago, which is a sign that, you know, the House conference is effectively going to be working to support the president if Kevin was down there. So I think that's going to be a big thing. But as you saw with the Senate minority leader, with the Liz Cheney situation, we saw that that's going to be quite a conversation because, again, there's a divide between MAGA and as well as the folks that are more on the establishment side. So I think Trump is going to move forward with being the loud voice in the room, but there will be a division, I know for sure.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene, what are your thoughts about her comments and the fact that she liked a post basically saying it'd be easier to remove Pelosi with a bullet to the head?
Well, as a military veteran, you know, we always protect the fabric of our country, and that's our public servants, to include both Democrats and Republicans. So, you know, that type of language is not to be tolerated. We take that very serious. I've been on the front lines, and I can tell you I would not hesitate to protect Nancy Pelosi because my duty is for the American people and the folks that they elect. So we need to denounce this as a party. I'm denouncing it now to say that that's not to be tolerated. Her committee assignments are now in question, so she may, in fact, lose those. So those decisions are being evaluated right now.
But I mean, her constituents voted her in. This isn't new language.
Right. So, you know, I'm not sure to the degree of how informed the constituents were. I know this just recently came to light that she had made these comments. I was not aware of the comments. I'm pretty sure she would not have been elected if the comments had been used in an op-ed, because op-eds are always a part of campaign strategy. So if her opponent did not find that as a tool, it wasn't discovered during the time she ran for office, which may have misled her voters to vote for her if that was her principles and beliefs.
Yes, and she's also a QAnon supporter. What are your thoughts about that?
You know, I've not done much research into this group. You know, I've spent a lot of time focusing on the Middle East threats. So a lot of our analysts that I work with, they all have a region or a group that they target. And now in the homeland, we're starting to look at more closely different groups that may be associated with nefarious activities or have categorizations like terrorism associated activities. So, you know, my job will be to look at those threats and work with law enforcement to do what is necessary within the context of the law to bring those folks to justice.
Adam, you've been great. I just have one more question for you. Looking ahead to the 2022, what is the GOP strategy for winning back its base?
Well, I think it has a base, but it's segmented across multiple markets, one being Trump supporters, one being the establishment. I think the young Republicans are going to migrate with whoever is in charge and in power. But the outlook for 2022, if I had it my way, would be to have more diversity, to talk to the folks that are in the communities that are minority and disadvantaged, and really get in there and provide a 5-point plan that will help bring those folks to an economic stage of power, respect, and equality, and more importantly, for justice.
GOP strategist Adam Roosevelt, thank you for joining us this afternoon, sir.
Thank you, Tasha. Thank you.